Well, for many immigrants, receiving a green card, it's the only first step. The final goal is a US citizenship. It brings security, voting rights, a permanent future, and the peace of knowing that your immigration journey is finally complete. But now, that final step, it could become much more expensive. Ladies and gentlemen, the US Department of Homeland Security has proposed increasing citizenship application fees by nearly 75%. That's right. And if that is approved, the standard paper application fee could rise from $760 to nearly $1,330, while online application would also become slightly more expensive. The proposal does not stop there. The government is also considering removing several waivers and reduce the cost options that could currently help the low-income applicants to complete the citizenship process. Here, officials say the changes are necessary because immigration services could recover the full cost of processing applications. Here, they argue that citizenship benefits could no longer be subsidized by fee collected from other immigration categories. But yes, critics do disagree here. Immigration experts warn that these higher costs could discourage many permanent residents from applying for citizenship, now specifically families already struggling with rising living expenses. This particular proposal, it is currently open for public comment before any final decision is made. But for millions of immigrants, including thousands of Indians, it has already created fresh uncertainty. Well, after years of waiting for visa, years of waiting for green card, many now have to pay significantly more simply to become an American citizen. Well, perhaps that is the biggest message from all of tonight's stories. Ladies and gentlemen, the American dream is not disappearing, but it is certainly changing. While students are reconsidering where to study, immigration rules continue evolving, legal pathways are becoming more expensive. Global careers are shifting, yet, despite every challenge, Indians continue making remarkable contribution around the globe. From corporate boardrooms to hospitals, universities, research laboratories, shipping lanes and technology companies. And that resilience, that remains biggest strength of the Indian community all around the globe. One new immigration proposal is kind of creating an emotional debate across the country. Well, according to reports, the Trump administration has identified more than 500 unaccompanied migrant children who could face deportation. Well, these are the children who entered the US without a parent or maybe a legal guardian, and they are now currently in government custody while waiting to be placed with relatives or sponsors. For many people, this story is much more than immigration. It's about children. It's about safety. It's about what responsibility government have towards vulnerable young people. In the meantime, Democratic Senator Ron, he has strongly criticized the proposal, calling it a serious institutional failure. Here he argued that deporting the children without any proper protection, it could place them back into dangerous situations. Now, earlier efforts to deport similar groups of children, they were blocked by a federal judge. But now a fresh effort appears to be underway. In the meantime, supporters of stricter immigration enforcement argue that immigration law, it must apply equally to everybody, regardless of age, and that governments have a duty here to secure their borders. However, critics believe that children deserve additional protection and that humanitarian concerns should come first. This particular debate once again highlights how divided America has become over immigration policy. Every new administration brings different priorities. Every court ruling changes the legal landscape, and for thousands of migrant families, uncertainty has become part of everyday life.